Ladies and gentlemen, shifting focus now to the other big story. We are getting it tonight. This is an exclusive report coming in from Manipur. Tonight, we bring you the volatile truth from the Indo-Myanmar border, where there's been absolute chaos, there's been absolute destruction, and these are just hours away from a village in Myanmar. And what we are being told, this area has been completely devastated by a deadly airstrike. The aftermath. Hundreds of Myanmar nationals who've been fleeing, seeking refuge in India's border villages. Now, as tension escalates, Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh has sounded the alarm, raising critical concerns over the unchecked influx. The question basically that looms large: can our northeastern states withstand this unprecedented challenge from war-torn Myanmar? Calls for NRC implementation also seems to be growing in Manipur. Now, in this edition, first we are going to take you through what's really happening on the ground. This is the aftermath of the devastation that we are seeing right now on the ground, particularly the Indo-Myanmar border, and why Manipur is now staring at yet another big crisis coming in. First, take a look at this report.
अभी हम इंडो म्यांमार बॉर्डर पर खड़े हैं और बॉर्डर का माहौल बहुत ही तनावपूर्ण है। आपको जैसे मालूम है कि लगातार म्यांमार में जुंटा आर्मी अपना एक से एक जो स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड है वो खो रहे हैं और उसके चलते ही काफ़ी सारे लोग जो वहाँ पर बेघर हुए हैं वो अभी इंडिया में आकर के पनाह ले रहे हैं। काफ़ी सारे लोग मणिपुर में आए हैं, काफ़ी सारे लोग मिज़ोरम में आए हुए हैं और एक के बाद एक कैंप जो म्यांमार जुंटा आर्मी का वो लोग खो रहे हैं। लेकिन जैसे ही वो लोग अपना कैंप खो रहे हैं वो लोग भी हमला लगातार बढ़ा दिए हैं। उन लोगों ने हमला यहाँ पर बढ़ा दिए हैं। हम लोग बॉर्डर से ये तस्वीरें आपको ला रहे हैं। ये जो आप नदी देख रहे हैं, ये नदी के उस पार म्यांमार है और इस पार इंडिया है। इंडिया यानी हम लोग अभी मणिपुर में खड़े हैं और जैसे हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं अभी जस्ट 2 मिनट पहले हमको गोली चलने की आवाज़ वहाँ पर सुनाई दिया। एक राउंड वहाँ पर फायर हुआ है और अभी हमको बताया जा रहा है कि हम लोगों को यहाँ से जल्द निकल जाना चाहिए। The situation in Myanmar is on the edge. The Myanmar junta army is losing one after another stronghold. In Sagaing region now, which is hardly the area that you see beyond this bridge, this is the Sagaing division of Myanmar, and right now we are standing in Manipur. And you can see the vacant post of the Myanmar junta army along the Indo-Myanmar border. Right across the bridge, there is not a single person on that side of the border. You can see the security post of the Myanmar junta army is completely vacant because the fight is escalating between the rebels and the Myanmar junta army, and they are fleeing from their post. But yes, as they are fleeing from their post, the situation has further deteriorated in the villages. Khampat is the location in Myanmar where regular bombing is taking place. From this place, it is hardly 35 kilometers away, a drive of around 50 minutes, where today morning also Myanmar junta army and the Myanmar Air Force carried out multiple number of strikes. No media is being allowed to cross this particular point. Assam Rifles have set up camps, they have set up bunkers here, they are monitoring the situation round the clock.
In fact, while this report was actually being filed by my colleague Anirudh, gunshots were actually heard. Now, what was happening? The fight between the Arakan army and the junta essentially leading to a situation where the tussle has intensified, resulting in a situation that most of the Myanmaris are now trying to enter the Indian border. So much so that the government of India estimates that over 300 people may have actually entered in the last few days itself. And that is the reason why there is a massive repercussion that's taking place with the Manipur government now is beginning the biometric attendance of each of these people who are entering the border areas. First, take a look at this consolidated report coming in from More. This is from the border town. What's the situation on the ground like, and why it would have a direct ramification across the northeastern states?
जस्ट 2 मिनट पहले हमको गोली चलने की आवाज़ वहाँ पर सुनाई दिया.
Volatility continues to prevail on the Indo-Myanmar border. Watch how Myanmar's Khampat, which is hours away from Manipur, is in complete ruins as an aftermath of the deadly airstrike.
Right now we are standing in Manipur, and hardly 1 kilometer away from this Indo-Myanmar Friendship Bridge is the city of Tamo, which is now the last stronghold of the Myanmar junta army in Myanmar. As the situation has turned upside down in Myanmar, a lot of people from Tamo and Sagaing area are now fleeing for safe places. Khampat is the location in Myanmar where regular bombing is taking place. From this place, it is hardly 35 kilometers away, a drive of around 50 minutes, where today morning also Myanmar junta army and the Myanmar Air Force carried out multiple number of strikes.
यहाँ पर जो बर्मा का जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट चल रहा है, यहाँ पर कल परसों में बर्मा जुंता में एयर स्ट्राइक किया खम्पत पर. बहुत आदमी घायल हुआ है और घर भी कितना बर्न डाउन हुआ, और कितना बर्मा का जो हमारा बहन लोग भाई लोग है यहाँ में आके मोर देन 300 जैसा इधर में आया. CSO मोरे HTC का ब्रांच के नीचे में सब वो लोग देखभाल कर रहा है. अभी बर्मा का सिचुएशन बहुत ख़राब है. यहाँ पब्लिक इसे जाना बहुत डेंजर हो रहा है, और यहाँ में पब्लिक का सर्वाइवल भी बहुत मुश्किल है. डे टू डे खाना पीने का डेली ढूंढने का बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा है.
As an aftermath of this attack, at least 300 Myanmar nationals are seen taking refuge close to the Howling Phai village near Manipur. Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh has raised serious concerns over the influx from Myanmar into Manipur.
Since 2021, the unrest happening in Myanmar, and because of that, many refugees coming inside. We are also providing shelter for them in some areas in consultation with the Home Ministry, and we are providing their food and shelter homes like this, but we could not provide for as a whole.
Watch how biometric registration of these illegals has gathered pace in the state of Manipur. However, the governor of Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity iterated on the importance of the NRC to prevent the influx of illegal immigrants.
In order to help resolve this crisis, we have been demanding the exercise of NRC, because we have to identify by individuals, not by community, not by particular ethnicity or community. We don't say that. The state government already has its own list of recognized ethnic communities and tribes list. It will help the state to understand the actual demography of the state, to understand the genuine population, to understand the migrant population, which will also help in making the administration convenient and much better.
The question, however, remains: will the northeastern states be able to battle the challenge of rising influx from a war-trodden Myanmar?
Well, these are pictures that no other network will actually show you, and why we are telling you that this is a cause of concern, ladies and gentlemen, because the government of India and the government of Manipur essentially estimates that in the last few days itself, in the last few weeks perhaps, over 300 people may have actually entered from the Indo-Myanmar border, and that is the reason why biometric process has already begun. Let's actually take you to the details that are now emerging. In fact, the Chief Minister of Manipur has responded to this report that has been filed from the border areas to tell you what's the current situation like and the number of people who have entered through. 300 300 people, we are being told, in the last few weeks have actually entered in the area. This is because of the volatile situation across the border, with the fight basically intensifying with the Arakan army as well as with the junta taking over some of the areas, trying to regain control in some of those areas. Listen in to what the Chief Minister had to say.
The day before yesterday, many has come due to some uncertainty in the neighboring Tamil and neighboring areas, I'm told. But many has come. But the Assam Rifles, police, state police and civil administration are monitoring and they are collecting biometrics. But one problem we are facing is that proper regulation we need as per the Home Ministry guideline. But we are trying to regulate properly.
Well, in fact, public bodies in Manipur are now raising concerns about whether at all this can continue any further. And that is the reason why there is a growing demand for the implementation of the NRC. Kokomi happens to be one such body making this demand that NRC should be implemented as soon as possible. Listen in to what the Kokomi leader had to say a short while back.
Then, constitutional, obligatory exercise which needs to be carried out in the state, like the delimitations, which has been pending for past many decades. So before doing that, and in order to help resolve this crisis, we have been demanding the exercise of NRC, because we have to identify by individuals, not by community, not by particular ethnicity or community. We don't say that. The state government already has its own list of recognized ethnic communities and tribes list. So we don't blame or accuse or charge any particular community to be refugees or influx migrants or whatsoever. But we want the entire population of the state to be re-registered through an exercise of NRC. That is what we have been demanding, and it will help the state to understand the actual demography of the state, to understand the genuine population, to understand the migrant population, which will also help in making the administration convenient and much better.
Now, as we come to the end of the news, let's record and summarize with Note Assist using Galaxy AI on Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. Chaos erupts at the Indo-Myanmar border as Myanmar's Khampat village is devastated by airstrikes, forcing hundreds of nationals to seek refuge in Manipur. The influx has prompted Chief Minister Biren Singh to raise alarms over the biometric registration concerns and accusing the Mizoram government of flouting the MHA guidelines. Calls for implementing the NRC have also gained momentum amid the escalating situation in the region. There you have it, the precise reading of the news in a simpler format using Galaxy AI on Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. We'll be back with the headlines in a few minutes from now.